What if the food on your kitchen counter right now could send your dog to the emergency room tonight? Not spoiled food, not old food, just ordinary food. The kind sitting in your fruit bowl, your pantry, your baking cabinet. Every year, thousands of dogs are rushed into emergency clinics after eating something their owners never thought twice about. Not because those owners were careless, because almost no one tells them which everyday foods are dangerous until it's already happened. This isn't going to be a scary video. It's going to be the video that helps you make sure it never happens to your dog. I help pet owners recognize health problems before they become emergencies. And one of the most common calls I get isn't about a mysterious illness. It's about something a dog ate right off the kitchen counter. Today, we're walking through the everyday foods that seem harmless, but can actually be toxic or dangerous to dogs. We'll talk about what happens inside the body, what symptoms to watch for, and exactly when a trip to the vet becomes urgent. Why this matters. Dogs are curious, food-driven, and often quick. A dropped grape, an unattended plate, a countertop within jumping distance, it doesn't take much. And here's the part that makes this especially important. Dogs are remarkably good at hiding early discomfort. By the time a dog is clearly showing signs of illness, the situation may already be more advanced than it appears. That's why understanding what's dangerous before it's eaten is so much more powerful than reacting after the fact. The good news is that most of these situations are entirely preventable, and when they are caught early, outcomes are often very good. Let's go through them one at a time. Food number 1, chocolate veterinary explanation. Chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, along with caffeine. Dogs process theobromine much more slowly than humans do, which allows it to build up in their system and overstimulate the heart and nervous system. Think of it like a stimulant that a dog's body simply isn't built to break down efficiently. Darker chocolate, baking chocolate, and cocoa powder contain much higher concentrations of theobromine than milk chocolate, which makes them significantly more concerning. Possible causes. This type of reaction may be associated with the amount of chocolate consumed, the type of chocolate involved, and the size of the dog. A small dog that eats a small amount of dark chocolate may be affected more seriously than a large dog that eats the same amount of milk chocolate. When to see a veterinarian. If you know or suspect your dog has eaten chocolate, this is generally treated as an emergency, especially with dark or baking chocolate. Contacting your veterinarian or an animal poison control line right away, even before symptoms appear, is strongly recommended, since early intervention often makes a significant difference. Food number 2, grapes and raisins. Veterinary explanation. Grapes and raisins have been linked to sudden kidney injury in some dogs. The exact substance responsible isn't fully understood, which is part of what makes this food so unpredictable. Unlike chocolate, where the danger scales with amount and body size, some dogs have shown serious reactions after eating relatively small quantities. The kidneys act like the body's natural filters, removing waste and balancing fluids. When they're affected, that filtering process can be disrupted. When to see a veterinarian. Because reactions to grapes and raisins can be unpredictable, veterinary evaluation is recommended anytime a dog is known to have eaten them, even without symptoms. Early evaluation gives your veterinarian the best opportunity to support kidney function before more serious changes develop. Food number 3, onions, garlic, and other alliums. Veterinary explanation. Onions, garlic, leeks, and chives contain compounds that can damage a dog's red blood cells. Red blood cells are responsible for carrying oxygen throughout the body, so when enough of them are affected, the body may struggle to get adequate oxygen to its tissues. This effect isn't always immediate. Symptoms may not appear for several days after consumption, which is part of what makes this category easy to overlook. Possible causes. This reaction may be associated with the quantity consumed and whether the food was raw, cooked, or in powdered form. Since powdered garlic and onion, common in seasoning blends, can be especially concentrated. When to see a veterinarian. If you know your dog consumed a meaningful amount of onion or garlic, veterinary guidance is recommended even before symptoms appear, since blood cell changes can take time to become noticeable. Food number 4, xylitol. Veterinary explanation. Xylitol is a sugar substitute found in many sugar-free gums, candies, some peanut butters, and baked goods. In dogs, xylitol can trigger a rapid and significant release of insulin, the hormone responsible for managing blood sugar. This can cause blood sugar to drop quickly, and in larger amounts, it has also been associated with effects on the liver. Possible causes. This response may be associated with the amount and concentration of xylitol consumed, which can vary widely between products. When to see a veterinarian. Xylitol ingestion is considered an emergency. Because symptoms can develop quickly, immediate veterinary contact is recommended anytime ingestion is known or suspected, even if your dog seems fine in the moment. Food number 5, avocado. Avocado contains a substance called persin, which is more concerning for birds and some other animals than for dogs, and true toxicity cases in dogs are considered relatively rare. However, avocados still carry real risks for dogs. The pit poses a serious choking and intestinal blockage hazard, and the high fat content can contribute to digestive upset. Possible causes. Digestive symptoms in this scenario are more often associated with the fat content and the physical risk of the pit than with persin toxicity itself. When to see a veterinarian. If your dog swallows an avocado pit, veterinary evaluation is recommended promptly, since pits can lodge in the intestinal tract and may require imaging or, in some cases, surgical removal. Food number 6, macadamia nuts. Veterinary explanation. The exact reason macadamia nuts affect dogs isn't fully understood, but they are known to cause temporary weakness, particularly in the hind legs, along with other symptoms. This effect appears to be specific to dogs and is not typically associated with humans eating the same nuts. When to see a veterinarian. Because symptoms can appear within hours, veterinary evaluation is recommended anytime macadamia nut ingestion is known, even though most dogs recover well with appropriate supportive care. Food number 7, alcohol and raw yeast dough. Veterinary explanation. Raw dough containing yeast can continue to rise inside a warm stomach, potentially causing painful bloating and, in some cases, contributing to a dangerous twisting of the stomach. As the yeast ferments, it can also produce alcohol, which dogs are highly sensitive to, even in small amounts. When to see a veterinarian. Raw dough ingestion is considered an emergency, particularly if there's any abdominal swelling or unsuccessful attempts to vomit, since this combination can indicate a serious and rapidly progressing condition. Prevention tip. Keep rising dough covered and placed well out of reach, ideally in a closed oven or high shelf, especially during baking heavy seasons like the holidays. If you're finding this information helpful, let me know in the comments what kind of pet you have. I love hearing about your companions. Food number 8, fatty and fried table scraps. Real story. Buddy, an 8-year-old Cocker Spaniel, was given generous helpings of bacon grease and fried leftovers during a family holiday dinner as a special treat. The next day, Buddy was hunched, uncomfortable, and refused his food entirely. Veterinary explanation. High-fat foods can overwhelm the pancreas, the organ responsible for producing digestive enzymes. When it becomes inflamed, a condition called pancreatitis, it can cause significant abdominal pain and digestive disruption. Possible causes. This reaction may be associated with a sudden increase in fat intake, which is particularly common around holidays when rich foods are more available. What owners should watch for. Hunched posture or reluctance to move, vomiting, loss of appetite, abdominal pain when touched, diarrhea. When to see a veterinarian. If your dog shows signs of abdominal pain along with vomiting or appetite loss after eating rich or fatty foods, a veterinary visit is recommended, since pancreatitis can range from mild to serious and benefits from timely evaluation. When this becomes an emergency. Some situations require immediate veterinary attention, no matter which food was involved. These include difficulty breathing, collapse or sudden inability to stand, repeated uncontrolled vomiting, seizures, known or suspected poison ingestion, straining to urinate with no results, severe bleeding, a visibly bloated or swollen abdomen, loss of consciousness. If you see any of these signs, don't wait to see if things improve on their own. Contact your veterinarian or the nearest emergency animal hospital right away. In situations like these, time genuinely matters. Let's bring this all together. Chocolate, grapes and raisins, onions and garlic, xylitol, avocado pits, macadamia nuts, raw dough, and fatty scraps are among the most common kitchen foods that can put dogs at risk. You don't need to memorize every detail. What matters most is this. When in doubt about something your dog ate, it's always reasonable to reach out to your veterinarian, even just for guidance. Early awareness is one of the most powerful tools you have as a pet owner. The goal isn't to worry you, it's to help you recognize when your pet may need extra attention. The earlier problems are recognized, the better the chances of keeping our pets healthy and happy for years to come. A little awareness in the kitchen can prevent an awful lot of worry down the road. If you enjoy veterinarian-approved pet health education, subscribe for new videos every week. Together, we can help our pets live longer, healthier lives. This video is intended for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for an examination by a licensed veterinarian. If your pet is sick, injured, or experiencing an emergency, contact your veterinarian or the nearest emergency animal hospital immediately.